nothing. I only have my faith.
Faith. And that's where science has the issue. Science states that faith is a belief that something exists or can happen based on purely thinking about it with no real testing. So by that case, if your faith is strong enough, I want you to drop this light bulb and see if it breaks. Drop it, John. If your faith tells you it won't break, I want to see what will happen.
Dear God, today is the day. Is it wrong to be nervous? Is it wrong? I don't know. I know that it's the right thing to do, but why am I so nervous? Every morning for the past year I've been preparing for this today. And it's finally here. I'm just praying just so I can build up enough confidence. Give me the strength and courage that I need today, Lord. This is the time when I need you the most. The crucial points in life. I need you, and I know you're going to do great things in us, Lord. You've done so many great things and helped me, us, to overcome this barrier that's been standing between all of us. Every year, the professor questions his class on the reality and truth of God. Is he truly the one and only God? Why do students have faith in him? Is God even real? The professor would isolate anyone who dares to go past his boundaries and defeat them with his so-called philosophical terminology and knowledge. It's been 10 years since he first asked the question to his undergrad students back in 2001. No one answered or even dared to fight his wrath. It's been 10 years since he asked his class, and today will be his last. You see that box over there? That's how I know it's today. It's always been this day, the 14th of March. It was his day. The professor uses the light bulbs as an example to show that God isn't real. It's completely ridiculous because we all know that if a bulb drops, the density in weak materialized glass will shatter immediately upon impact. It's bizarre how you can argue something so irrelevant, yet so far no one has come up to him and successfully proven him that he is wrong.
All right, class, pack up. I want you to put your things in your bag, put them on the floor, and stand up.
So it begins.
Let's go. All right, class, I'm going to make a series of statements. If you agree with them, stay standing. If you don't, have a seat. If you believe that the Earth doesn't spin on an axis, please sit down. Very humorous, Becky. Stand back. There is a God. Satan exists. So for the rest of you, I'm assuming you believe in a one just God? John, you're a Christian, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
So you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Is God all-powerful, Becky?
Yes.
Is God good, Summer?
Sure.
My brother died of cancer, even though he prayed to God to heal him. Most of us would attempt to help someone who is ill, but God didn't. How is this God good, then? Huh? No, Peter, stay standing.
No, it's okay. I don't know why I stood up in the first place.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You sure you don't want to talk about this?
I totally agree with you.
Okay. You guys didn't answer my question. Or rather, you couldn't answer my question. So let's start again. Is God good?
Yes.
Is Satan good?
No.
Where does Satan come from?
From God?
Is there evil in this world?
Yes.
Who created evil? Is there sickness, hatred, repulsiveness, immorality? All these terrible things exist in the world, don't they? What is this?
A light bulb?
If I were to drop it, would it break?
Yes.
If I were to drop this on the floor, would it shatter?
Yes.
If God existed and I dropped this on the floor, could he prevent it from breaking? Right, Summer? According to science, we use 5 senses to identify and observe the world around us. So let me ask you this. Have you ever seen God?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard God?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever felt God?
I'm afraid I haven't.
And yet you still believe in him?
Yes.
So then according to the empirical theory, science says your God doesn't exist. What do you say about that?
Nothing. I only have my faith.
Faith. And that's where science has the issue. Science says that faith is a belief that something's going to happen just by thinking about it, just by knowing it's going to happen and believing it. So if you have faith, then drop this, Becky. Drop it.
Sir, this is...
Becky, if your faith is strong enough, Becky, you should be able to drop this and it won't break. Go ahead. I want you to see it. You see, science is infallible. Through tests, experiments, calculations, we can retest and come to the same conclusion. However, faith can be shattered. Science proves that faith in God is flawed. Any questions? Yes?
Sir, does heat exist?
Why, yes.
Then does cold exist?
Yes.
Actually, sir, it doesn't. You see, you can have lots of heat, superheat, mega heat, ultra heat, white heat, a little heat, and even no heat. But you see, cold doesn't exist. You can go 273 below zero, but that's about it. You can't go any further than that. Cold doesn't exist. Sir, we can't measure cold. It's not the opposite of heat, it's just the absence of it.
So what's your point?
Sir, I'm saying your philosophical premise is flawed.
Flawed? Can you support that statement?
I can, sir. You're working on the premise of duality. You argue that there is life and that there is death, a good God and a bad God. You view the concept of God as something that we can measure, something finite. However, not even science can fully explain a thought. It uses electricity and magnetism, but ultimately has never been understood. To view death as the opposite of life is to be ignorant of the fact that death itself cannot exist as a substantive thing. Death isn't the opposite of life. It's just the absence of it.
Now tell us, Professor, do you teach your students that they evolved from primates?
If you mean evolution, then of course I do.
Have you ever observed evolution with your own eyes? Since no one has ever observed the process of evolution at work and cannot prove that the process is an ongoing endeavor, are you not teaching your opinions, sir? Are you not a scientist, but a preacher? Is there anyone in the class who has seen the professor's brain? Is there anyone in the class who has heard the professor's brain, felt it, touched or smelt it?
No one appears to have done so. So according to the established rules of the empirical theory, science states that you have no brain, sir. So with all due respect, how do you expect us to trust the validity of your lectures?
Well, I guess I'll have to take him on faith.
Exactly.
Thank